WEFUNK. We funk.
Once again, for the last time this year, Andre Davi coming in hot with the Closer Look song, an all-time favorite here. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't get the rights to the Bone Thug song, but
they just sold their whole catalog to Universal for $600 million, and now they own all the Bone Thugs.
But instead of doing a traditional Closer Look, we're going to be doing this year's 125th year first ever Geeked Up Year Awards. If that makes any sense, all right?
Yeah, I mean the long-running tradition of us doing something for the first time and claiming it being an annual.
Okay. So we have 10 different awards we'll be giving out for the year 2020.
And we're going to be doing our Oscar special as well coming up in a couple months where we do a similar thing. However, this one is a lot more ridiculous, original, all over the place.
Our personal awards. Oh,
yeah.
So, and kind of like in that vein to kick things off, the first award is called the Fat Star Wars Kid Award. And this is for the best viral people out there during 2020.
Yeah, of course, for the biggest internet sensation of 2020, the illustrious Fat Star Wars Kid Award.
Exactly. Everyone vies to be him. I'll start it off. I think this one was pretty early on 2020, but the What's Inside Your Butthole song, kid, was a big favorite of mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the little girl who's just like, what's inside your butthole?
Literally doing like a Sandler song. You're like an Andy Samberg level, like
exactly.
Like literally you could see him on the news doing that fucking song.
Yeah.
What's this stupid Lonely Island or whatever the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If they didn't cover that song, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But you're right, that girl was
6-year-old girl just nailed it.
One of my faves was definitely boneless chicken wing guy from Nebraska.
That guy, dude.
That hilarious dude that like literally went to state Congress in the middle of a pandemic and pitched to get like with a full on like, our children are going to be confused about the fucking friendliness of these like all sorts of fucking a full on speech as to get boneless chicken wings off the men to like retitled as like tasty nuggets or whatever the fuck.
For sure. I also think you can't think of a viral video in 2020 without thinking of the Spanish skateboarding guy drinking cranberry juice and lip syncing to Stevie Nicks.
I know, right?
I think.
I just didn't know you could pound cranberry juice like that. Like, what a good idea, dude. Just like going out with like a fucking like family size fucking ocean spray, just top off, just fucking sipping. Like
that guy's living his best 2020.
Yeah, for real.
But of course, I think the winner of the first ever Fat Star Wars Kid Award has to go to the Geeked Up boys themselves, Devin and Liam.
And some would say the original Fat Star Wars kids, because I'm sure when we were 12, we were doing the same shit. So fuck you, little bastard. But
I used to walk around the proton pack. All right. But I think it's for all the great Zoom content we put out this year.
I was gonna say 10 weeks strong of an internet sensation that was the Geeked Up Zoom Friday nights, as well as some trivia nights along the way and lots of fun. That's pretty much it. But a lot of fun on Zoom.
So winning the first award, I mean, we might sweep these like the Oscars. Hopefully, Devin and Liam don't win every one, but you guys have listened to the show before. No, we promise we won't win every one. But for our second award,
somebody else might, however. But
speaking of Zoom, I got some geeked up ones because we can do the next award is the Here Comes the Zoom Award.
All I want to do is a Zoom.
The nominations are people who are standing out in our Friday night Zoom rooms or our trivia nights.
Okay, I say, speaking of our Friday night Zoom, some of our favorite Zoom moments.
I'll say, as I said, trivia. Ross controversially winning the first trivia night we did.
Okay, yes.
Is a nomination.
In a hilarious, controversial fashion, with Ross getting, with there being two potential, depending on what search engine you use, going to get a different answer.
Yeah.
But you're right, that was hilarious from our trivia night, maybe from some of our actual Zoom chats. But how about a shirtless Danny from the watering hole biking and pounding down fucking green shakes or whatever the fuck he was drinking every week?
I think there was actually a time where Danny was like getting into the shower too. It was like, all right.
Yeah, there's definitely like
hilarious.
a Danny in a towel, fucking Zoom screen going on.
I would say in equal ridiculousness, always relying on a good old Shizon showing up blacked out for the old Zoom rooms.
Yes, a blacked out Shizon was always. I mean, honestly, in all honesty, huge shout out to Shizon and as well as Accountant Mike. As well, who were, I would say, probably both perfect attendance records from
Absolutely.
the Friday Zooms, as well, I think, even the trivia nights. But both of them, like a lot of other strong faces, your Franleys, your Nettas, maybe, some of your people. Of course, the drunken Irish girls. I guess they get their own shout out for a major
I think we'll refer
highlight.
to them as the Benny Big Balls girls.
Okay, yes, of course, Benny's Big Balls and the Irish girls having fun every week. But definitely, out of all the great faces, Shizon and Mike, I'd say perfect attendance records.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. We also have another award to go to Chad for winning the Halloween special. I would say in that same vein, during the Halloween special, Ron showed up in a whoopee cushion costume.
Okay, of course, yes. Ron in his whoopee cushy costume.
But I think the winner would have to go to, though, coming in while we were talking the subject of Netflix and chill ice cream, Yoon coming in hot, of course, with the pint of Ben & Jerry's Netflix and chill ice cream.
Yes. Yoon having it literally with the ice cream on the freezer, on ice. But I think that, like, because me and you had just recorded and talked about it that day, so we hadn't even, like, released the episode yet. And it was something that we had, like, just heard about. And Yoon was sitting there fucking eating it already, like. But, yeah, the exclusive Netflix and chat ice cream, which is, of course, a popcorn-flavored ice cream with Butterfinger Crunch bits. Or, no, wait, that was ours.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world. I forgot what those fucking idiots Ben & Jerry's decided to do, but they gave you...
peanut butter.
Oh, yeah, that's right, peanut butter. And it sounded delicious as well. But Yoon said, what, a little too peanut buttery? Was that Yoon's
Too
review?
peanut buttery.
Too peanut buttery. You heard it from Yoon, who's a major foodie, as we talked. But as we talked about on Geeked Up. But, yeah, that was definitely, I'd say, the ultimate highlight of our Geeked Up Zoom Awards goes to Yoon and the Netflix and chill ice cream.
So congrats Yoon for winning the Here Comes the Zoom
And I guess
award.
another special big shout out to Ron, a close second for his whoopee cushion, but as well Boston Ron for his contributions to the Zoom.
Just participation.
Yeah,
You can always count on a shirt getting pulled up when Ron's on the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
It's between Ron and Shizon, I never use that mute button so much. Yeah.
But the winner still goes to Yoon, so thanks
Correct.
to your loyal work. But Yoon had the ice cream,
yes,
and that's fucking a prop always
Bring us
wins. So
Bringing us along, though, to our third award, which would be the Deuces Indeed Award. This award goes to our best guest of 2020 on the show. Deuces.
of course,
So,
Andre Davi always a nomination.
Yeah. But we made a lot of new friends, new people on the show this year, and I would say the first nomination would go to the Goots, Ray Goots himself, for being our Halloween expert on our Bronx vs. Vampires episode, I want to say.
Yeah, I think he kind of just kicked off our Halloween shenanigans anyway. I think it was the Bronx vs. Vampires episode, though. But yeah, of course, he was running the haunted house comedy, literally doing a fucking comedy show in his backyard with the haunted house attached to, like, his living room. And hope you don't get murdered. Hope that fucking 8 other public civilians show up in their strength in numbers because... But yeah, he wore like a horror shirt, 60-day epic Halloween guest from the Goots.
Absolutely. Of course, another new friend on the show was our friend Netta Ronner, host of the Netta Raw podcast, but she was on as our Euro expert for our Eurovision episode of Netflix and Chat.
Yes, as our Scandinavian expert.
And then, of course, we had writer and director of Timing, Alex Anderson, was on one of our episodes. New friend of the show.
Oh yeah, with the great movie, one of the hot indie films of the year, as per the Geeked Up list. And not the only bold claim about the movie that the Geeked Up Boys made, because also dubbing it the best stand-up comedy movie ever made, in what could have been a Fat Star Wars Kid nomination for Internet Sensation for the YouTube trailer for that fucking movie, with the Geeked Up Boys quote at the leading off the show. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. But of course, I think the award, we did have a bunch of new guests, but I think the award would have to go to all of our past guests from our 5-year anniversary episode. I would say, of course, excluding Ross and Lauren.
So do they win the award for the Deuces Indeed? Or are they the only ones that don't win? I'm confused because they're obviously...
We'll never know. Lauren
this is like an episode 10 situation where a Sucka MC challenge situation where is it a good thing that they fucking are getting... Did they win the Deuces Indeed or do they lose the Deuces Indeed? Because they're not included with all of the good guests that we had that day.
And look, not because we don't love them. It just seemed that Lauren didn't want to be there and Ross didn't know he was there.
I know, yeah. That was what we explained earlier when Ross said, "Oh yeah, oh that was for a podcast." I thought we were. Yeah, Ross had no idea.
Standing around rapping Eminem.
Yeah, and poor Lauren. I think that she was. I think she. It always sounds like a good idea to get really high before doing these Zoom chats. But then when the other 3 participants are fucking me, Devin, and Ross, sometimes it's a little hard to get a word in edgewise, and you end up just giggling for 10 minutes and then saying goodbye.
Very true. But so really, congrats to everyone from the 5-year episode. You're all winners for the Deuces Indeed Award. Moving us right along, though, would bring us to our Woo Baby Piss Mob Award, which is our nominations for Best Song and Artist of the Year. All right.
Yes. And I guess right off the bat, I can my first nomination nominated for an award that's named after them, but of course from Piss Mob, Cuntlet, the newest from Piss Mob. I got to say, one of the Song of the Year nominations has to be Piss Mob's Cuntlet for the Piss Mob Song of the Year award.
Very true. Dude, that's a great one. I had mine. I was going to say anything on SoundCloud.com/Andre Davi. You're going to get some new bangers.
Put out a bunch of new songs this year as well, actually. So.
Yeah, he did. No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
In non-hilarious podcast, we always like to point out he makes real music. Of course, I like to stick with the hilarious podcast songs. So my next nomination is going to be Ya Ya Ding Dong. Big shout out to Netta Raw, but Ya Ya Ding Dong. Of course, from Eurovision, smash hit from Will Ferrell from
I got a nominee. She didn't make it in the first award she was in, but I'm gonna nominate the "What's Inside Your Butthole" kid.
Okay, Song of the Year, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Song of the Year.
She's like Susan Lucci over here. Well, I guess we haven't announced yet, but will she be the fucking old chick that always gets nominated but never wins?
And I think it's time to announce the winner, right? And once again, 2 nominations, no win for What's Inside Your Butthole Kid, because of course the winner of Song of the Year is no one other than Joe Exotic for Here Kitty Kitty. All right.
Well, I think it's a tie between that and the other Joe Exotic song from the album.
Oh, like A Man See the Tiger. Both hilariously Milli Vanilli'd by him.
Yeah, both hilariously not him.
But
my theory, Toothless Redneck was the beauty of the voice behind that beauty, but
lyrics by Joe Exotic, much like the Geeked Up Boys.
Yeah, right. Which I guess is all that really matters.
But so yeah, Joe Exotic wins the Woo Baby Piss Mob Award.
Definitely. Congratulations.
I guess that'll bring us to another geeked up thing, which would be our favorite Netflix and chat movie of the year we watched this year. All right.
Okay, our favorite Netflix and chat of the year.
Of course. And we got some pretty crazy ones. I'll start it off with, of course, fresh on the heels of Halloween. I want to nominate Hubie Halloween.
I mean, that's definitely it wins the award for most Sandler voices, which somehow there's a lot of Sandler voices on these podcasts. No matter what we're watching, somehow we do a lot of Sandler voices. But yet Hubie Halloween has even more than the most. So No, that was
Correct.
a hilarious one. I'd say for me, maybe the most hilarious, however, was Project Power, because it wasn't supposed to be funny. But that was one of those that really felt like an original Netflix and chat dating all the way back to last year when we started the show. But when we would pick movies intentionally that were, bad movies, obscure movies that were supposed to be bad, and it was a lot of like the unintentional comedy was supposed to be the point. This was when then we stopped doing that. This was one of those. We decided to choose just good movies, and then this turned out to be the fucking shittiest and bad and worst of them all.
I don't know. I mean, we also had Spencer Confidential in there, pal. So, and then of course the Hater, which felt very relevant in the times we were living in right now.
Plus, that features the epic heated confrontation, the heated debate between me and you about, I forget what it was about.
Yes. Our Twitter, what we do with the internet now. One of my favorites, though, is because of my epic intro to the episode, but Dolomite is my name.
Yeah. I mean, potentially my favorite fucking... of the movies of the entire year, to be honest, because we left that off. We didn't really mention any of the Netflix and chat movies much in our list, but yeah, definitely Dolomite was a killer movie.
The Five Bloods.
Five Bloods, exactly, killer movie.
But I think we should announce the winner, and of course it's like we said earlier, this guy's going to be sweeping. This guy might be the Geeked Up Boys because, like we said, the first binge thing everyone did at the beginning of this crazy pandemic was we all watched Tiger King, baby.
Oh yeah, the sensation that was Tiger King definitely really helped kick us off helped keep us inside for those first couple weeks of coronavirus, but really was, just like one of the most epic specials in terms of unintentional comedy, intentional comedy, like intrigue, excitement, fucking rednecks, like it had it all, and
Yeah, it was like an SNL episode meets a true crime podcast. It was insane, dude. It was absolutely amazing. So Tiger King.
And the episode itself was real fun. I think it was it a two-parter? But
I think it was a two-parter.
For me personally, I guess I had binge watched the entire thing, literally leading up until our recording episode. I watched the last two episodes fucking right before hopping on. So it was just for me, I had 48 hours just in pretty much in fucking Oklahoma or wherever the hell the zoo was. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think it's 48 hours in the tiger cage, so to speak. So it was just a fun, just whole fucking inundation of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I guess that was a crazy moment, which would bring us to our next award, the craziest moments / revelations of 2020. Of course,
I mean, not really. It's going to be a light list for this one because not really anything too nutty happened this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say maybe to kick it off, COVID itself was a pretty crazy moment in 2020.
Yeah, that was, I forgot about the COVID, the Black Lives Matter protests shutting down parts of all over the country, Manhattan here especially. The fucking president tear gassing citizens outside the White House was definitely as crazy of a situation, as crazy of a image as you can possibly imagine.
That I would say the still ongoing the election shenanigans is how I've it written down.
Election shenanigans. Yep. I mean the Four Seasons landscaping press conference, Giuliani farting in a. I mean, ongoing is definitely putting it lightly.
But I would say for this one, though, the craziest moments is less of crazy moments and more of revelations and discoveries me and Liam have had this year. So I would say in a 4-way tie, it would be us finding out, or Liam, I guess, finding out about Randy Quaid's beard and crazy face, Nikki Cox's crazy face.
Yeah, Randy Quaid's crazy beard, Nikki Cox's crazy face.
The fact that Mattis Yahoo doesn't dress like a rabbi anymore. And he
Got a
just has,
fucking
like,
Hasidic
short
rapper
blonde hair.
goes loses the
Yeah.
Hasidic. Like, how do you not get praised? Is
And,
that allowed? Like, why aren't the rest of them wearing jeans if this is a thing you can do?
Yeah. And then, of course, my revelation and discovery of the show 60 Days In, where
Okay, yes.
a show where I first saw it and was like, why would anybody do this? And now that I've watched 2.5 seasons, I'm like, I got to see how you sign up for the show.
Why would Layla Ali do it, if anybody? Like,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, of course, the voluntary jail sentence definitely makes for some great reality TV. And
It really does.
I watched the first season with one of the great heels of all time, with the teacher that faked a stomach injury to get out of the situation, and then claimed that it pulled an all-time Trumpian move. Just claimed that he totally crushed it. And he said, "What are you kidding me? Me and C-Dog, we're gonna be running the cell block. Like, what are you?" But I tell that there was a similar character in the most recent season.
In season 5 on Netflix, there's a guy who is literally in there for 12 hours, dude. He's like he's like the 7th mysterious one that no one knows about, and he's literally goes in there and he's like, I've read enough books that any real convict, he takes a nap right when he gets in. So he goes in a bunk, he falls asleep. When he wakes up, he hears 2 convicts talking about drugs, and he's like, oh, job done. I did this in 12 hours. I didn't need 60 days. Does the exit thing is for the cameras, and then just the producers call him, or he calls the producers and he's like, hey, look, pull me out of here now, or I'm just gonna stand on a table and say that I'm a spy and there's 6 other spies in here.
So what? After he woke up from his nap, he's like, "All right, my job here is done."
100%. He heard these guys being like, "I'm gonna have acid in here in a week," and he's like, "Oh, I gotta tell the sheriff now." It was just I did my job.
He thought that
12 hours.
he was because you're not supposed to just you're not. I mean, we'll talk about 60 Days In on our next Geeked Up episode, maybe. I guess now I have to watch this episode, but I mean, you're not. You're the idea isn't to spend your 60 days trying to fucking round up gossip on the other guys. It's to see if you can make it or not. It's not oh, I've got good intel, perfectly.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. He literally took a nap and then flipped the fuck out.
That is the best move, though, honestly. If you ever, he did know, watch enough jail specials, if you are trying to pass it as somebody that didn't do it, or I guess if you fall asleep, the cops think you did do it, but the other inmates will think that you're more on the level if you come in and just fucking go to sleep, you don't give a shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But the cops then will think that you did it. That's a major tell, where the cops always look for the most relaxed fucking suspect is always the one that they know did it. If the guy comes in and takes a nap, he's like, all right, dude, he knows he's caught. It's fucking done.
Might as well just get comfy.
Yep,
Make the most of it. So 4-way win for that one. Congrats to Nikki Cox. Long time since Randy Quaid's won anything, I'm sure. So congrats to him. Bring us to our next award, which would be the Mel Gibson Career Suicide of the Year Awards.
I mean, I guess starting much like Piss Mob, nominated for a category that's named after him. But can I kick it off with Mel Gibson's latest rant? I mean, didn't he go on another fucking what was this one about? Homos and AIDS or something?
Gay people and Jewish people.
Okay, of course, back to the Jews.
With the classics, you know what I mean? He knows what works for him.
He knows what we like. He goes, but this was another just I mean, and again, who's shocked on the set of when Mel Gibson goes on a homophobic rant on set? That's one of those just man, how did we not see this coming? You know?
For sure, absolutely.
It's the grizzly man getting eaten by a fucking grizzly bear in Alaska. You know, just man, I really should have. The irony is almost too perfect in this situation.
I would say a funny one that's kind of recent now too, much like Christian Bale, but there's that audio recording of Tom Cruise yelling at the crew on set for not following COVID rules, which is a fair enough point. But he's like, "Yo, I'll be fucking fine," blah blah blah. But if you know anything, me and Liam have friends in the film industry, and if you know people that work on crews, on sets, they're not artsy people. They're basically construction workers, right? So these fucking guys are getting yelled at by this 5'2" fucking dude. There's
guys
yeah, exactly. They're probably Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. And most of them have quit. And now, most of them are dude, we quit. Tom Cruise.
And I mean, obviously, I'm not sure where that's being filmed too, but it's just like, there are red state maniacs in every. I think that's in England where that's being filmed.
Yeah, they're filming in England.
Yeah, but there are like red state maniacs in every country. So there's like anti-maskers and people that don't just they just don't really give a shit at the same level. And if you got Tom Cruise breaking your balls for it. But yeah, that was a hilarious video and whatnot. I guess maybe career suicide, but tough year for Ellen. Finally, the world finding out what a bitch Ellen is, which made me very much to my delight. Everybody finally turning heel on Ellen.
I totally agree with that, and I'm very happy to see that. I would also say kind of another crazy one though, but have you ever seen any? This could have made the viral videos too, but any of these Britney Spears videos where she just seems like a brainwashed maniac, like pleading for help. Like it's just her walking around like all like pilled out and like crazy looking, and it's fucking
still
hilarious.
Didn't she win like the 2013 and the 2013 through 2017
there's
Celebrity Meltdown Award
like,
here on the show?
I think they're trying to push that like her dad has her hostage, like he owns all of like the rights to her. So it's.
I mean that's been going on for a while though. Anyway, the same thing with her dad is fucking. But
now she's putting out videos.
I guess. I mean, speaking of like Britney, an old familiar for his for yet another career suicide year for Kanye, for his presidential election running off the rails, and then him running off the rails, like bashing Harriet Tubman and fucking claiming $1 million for all people with babies and all of the nuttiness that was Kanye. His Twitter account in general.
Another great one. This kind of just. It seems like it would fit the right kind of in the Mel Gibson line of things. But Kyle Larson is a NASCAR driver, and they did like this online like video game charity event where they're like playing NASCAR on like Xbox Live. And in the audio, you can hear Kyle Larson be like, "Can you guys hear me? You're all a bunch of dumb," and then says the N-word. And then some other driver is like, "Dude, you're broadcasting live. We can all hear you." He's like, fuck.
Yeah. This is going out live on Twitch right now, you do.
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
That's a good way to test the mic, though. N-words, 1 2 1 2. N-words, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably just treating it like a regular NASCAR like radio frequency.
I bet there's not a lot of N-words getting dropped on the online NASCAR game fucking circuit. The dudes that are playing NASCAR online from various parts of Alabama.
I meant more like the regular radio frequency, like at NASCAR. Like.
Oh, this is on like the actual NASCAR thing? This wasn't the...
This was like a video game, but it was all NASCAR drivers like driving the cars.
Oh, I see. It was one of those. Yeah,
Yeah. I guess the only other person that... This is kind of embarrassing, but we got to throw out Nate Robinson for getting knocked out by YouTuber Jake Paul.
For sure. Definite career suicide in the athletic respect category. Like, there's no way. Like, literally, all of the great dunks and athletic achievements that he pulled off as like an NBA superstar at 5'8" or whatever, out the window to getting knocked out by a YouTube douche.
I would agree, and I guess we could say the winner. I think of this one would have to be. Just Gal Gadot and her pretentious friends all singing Believe. Oh, I'm sorry. All singing Imagine by John Lennon in one of the most cringeworthy displays of 2020.
Yeah, Gal Gadot and all the dopes that were in said video. But the best thing about that video, too, was like how quickly the entire world turned on it. Like, there was not like 1 minute of anybody holding that with any fucking genuine... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, my Alexa just started playing it, dude.
Oh, hilarious. That wasn't even you?
No, that was the terrifying world we live in. But I didn't want to say big congrats, but you get the Mel Gibson Career Suicide Award, Gal Gadot, for bringing us to, which I think is another category which I think she gets to fall into, is also our Villains of Corona 2020 award.
Villains of the Year?
Correct.
Super Villains of the Year award?
This kind of goes to the worst person of the year, and I want to kick it off again another double nominee, but Gal Gadot and the dope singing Imagine. I think.
I mean, we all turned on him pretty quick. I'll definitely.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, there were a couple of the more traditional, great heels of the year, but like the Machine Gun Couple, and of course the various Karens. Pick your favorite Karen. I guess I'm still going OG Central Park Karen.
Central Park Karen is definitely one of the villains of the year. Some other ones that fell in our other categories, but obviously the obvious one, Trump, of course. But then you got Kanye West, Ellen DeGeneres. I would say are both villains.
Okay, yeah, definitely Ellen anyway.
I would say any anti-maskers, which I guess I'm nominating the whole state of Florida, and Ron DeSantis is being
I was going to say
villain.
DeSantis and the shady mayor of Vegas definitely get their names in the nomination pool.
What about the we covered him very early on in quarantine, but the country music star concert guy, who was like in the height of quarantine was just like, I'm throwing an old concert.
Yeah.
He would just pot up.
How about Rudy? How about two from the sports world? But Rudy Gobert kicking this whole thing off before there was a lockdown, mocking the potential of the situation, touching all the microphones, and then being the first player to come down with coronavirus and having the entire season get canceled, like literally because he came down with it. You know, it's of course not
doesn't
his
he win
fault,
the funniest person? Doesn't he win the funniest person of the year?
I mean, I think the funniest person might go to ex-Met Justin Turner, who came down with coronavirus, like in the or you know, they had his confirmed case acknowledged in like the 9th inning of the World Series, and then after his team won, went out and celebrated anyway, despite knowing that he had coronavirus. Was out there like literally taking maskless pictures with fucking teammates and shit.
That's a good one, dude. I would also say, though, I think the winner of the Corona villains of the year, though, are also two funny guys. I'm talking about you and me, of course, for watching the movie Cuties and then doing a review about it.
I mean, are we officially villains for?
I mean, we're in villain territory.
It doesn't necessarily make us creeps because we watched the. No, I guess you're right though. Anybody that perpetuated Cuties coming on in the world, and especially me because I like ranked them and I did a fuck, marry, kill based on them. So I guess I'm a. I guess I definitely can't sing fucking too much sympathy over here. But good call, good call. Anybody? I'd say anybody involved in the filming as well, though. Okay, I'm not. If we're going down, we're taking down somebody with us. Okay.
Any male above the age of 14 that liked the movie is
yeah, for sure.
Also a villain. Anyone was like, "Oh, it was great." I don't know what anyone's talking about. So controversial award there to me and Liam. And I guess speaking of controversial awards, would be our next category, which would be the Peter Dinklage Short Award.
the best short of the year. All right, the Peter Dinklage Short of the Year award goes. I guess a couple good nominations for this one, but the most recently the Trey Anastasio Beacon Jams short documentary about that amazing run that he did in the crowdless Beacon Theater on like 8 straight Fridays, and then a really cool YouTube documentary based on that is going on. Short film of the year.
Okay, I got you. I was kind of say too, we already talked about it, but that big comedy special, that viral thing that was at the beginning, everyone's short, like little 15 minutes bit or interview they did are all nominees for the Peter Dinklage Short Award to me.
Yeah, right? Any like anything on a webcast, any individual bit on a webcast. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
What about you could say that last Chappelle special that came out on Netflix, it was only 23 minutes long.
Okay, yeah, I would consider that a short, definitely 8:46.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was like under 20 minutes, and also not really a comedy special, but definitely a Chappelle special, and definitely worth watching, especially at the time.
For sure, and I would even say under normal circumstances too, that would be the winner of this award. But out of left field came something we didn't know what we needed. Didn't know what we wanted, but it turns out we needed. And of course, I'm talking about the winner of this year's award would be the 15-minute short film called Recipe of Seduction, Mario Lopez, of course, playing Colonel Sanders.
A sleeveless Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders.
Dude, amazing. So,
yeah, congratulations on the Peter Dinklage Short of the Year. For,
big year for Mario Lopez. You know,
accepting this award is a sleeveless Mario Lopez. Is a sleeveless Screech. We couldn't get Mario Lopez, but we have a sleeveless Screech accepting the award.
To accept the award.
and the cashier at Popeyes is couldn't get a KFC guy.
And then, of course, I would say to round this all out, the final award, the Geeked Up Man of the Year. This is for the standout person of the year. Of course, I'm going to kick it off with I'm trying to win 3 awards here. Me and Liam for bringing you guys Geeked Up podcast through the pandemic.
And it was one of those like whirlwind because we America loves a good comeback story, and we rose like a phoenix after the whole cuties disaster, and we didn't let that get us down. We apologized and we confronted our demons, and now we've righted the ship. But I guess maybe coming in right behind us in significance, but Dr. Fauci, he was pretty good. Sure. I guess he deserves some credit as well. But, of course, Dr. Fauci. How about any healthcare worker, again, coming in slightly backseat to me and you, but any healthcare worker throughout the coronavirus pandemic? Like pick a nurse and then they could represent the entire healthcare industry.
Yeah, I'm throwing my sister and my cousin in there then. What about, we mentioned him earlier, what about Colin Quinn? Big year for him. And also we're just fans. I guess in that same, I'll throw out Kurt Russell just because you and me have gone on a weird Kurt Russell binge recently.
Yeah, that's true. Hateful Eight. You got to see this Bone Tomahawk, folks. Fucking crazy.
Honestly. Who else?
How about maybe Borat, like for another celebrity, but like in terms of like a real comedic impact, like we said, as well as he did if you want to do Sacha Baron Cohen, he did the other Chicago 7 as well. But in terms of Borat for a just a hilarious movie, but with the political impact of the whole Giuliani thing, and really just the crazy nature of what he did, you know what I mean? Like the
and just like
character commitment and all that kind of shit.
100%. And being able to pull that off for like a second time too, like that's one of those things where you're just like, this is never gonna work. Like, it was funny the first time, but the joke's got to be over. And no, just come back and like own it
for sure.
But I think I'd have to
maybe how about like much like picking your sister and cousin representing all the healthcare workers, but maybe George Floyd being the face of the Black Lives Matter movement, or if you want to pick a representative of that being really the man of the the person of the year. Or somebody, maybe the other Geeked Up boys can represent just they can be the face of the Black Lives Matter movement here on the Geeked Up podcast.
A lot of good nominees for this one, you know what I mean? Very people less deserving, like you and me, and very deserving of
great politicians. Biden, Kamala Harris, first African-American, first female vice president nomination, first African-American vice president nomination. Maybe AOC, political, tiger with a great future in America.
Well, that's a great point, man, because you did say the word tiger, and it's not AOC. But the winner of this award is the man that's really sweeped up the Geeked Up Awards, and that's going to be, of course, the man of the year is Joe Exotic, because without that psychopath, we would never have gotten Tiger King or the documentary.
Yeah, I mean that really was the If there was a bigger highlight of 2020 than Tiger King and the shenanigans of Joe Exotic. Fucking eat your heart out, Kamala Harris, because a toothless husband, shirtless husband, far more hilarious than Biden as a running partner. All right, so
sorry, my cousin and sister who have been out there in the front lines. Joe Exotic is a pretty funny guy, dude.
Did you fucking remember that goddamn armless zookeeper? And fucking
come on.
There was the one guy eating week old bologna. I mean, the fucking.
We got Carol Baskins and her cuck husband. It's everything about that guy.
I think didn't fucking the other creep get arrested as well? Did we cover that on Geeked Up? But who was like the other animal guy that like animal guy to the
Doc
stars
Harris or something like that?
Yes, Doc Antle.
Ansel Harris, Doc Antle. Yeah.
I think he went down.
I think he did too.
The other guy.
Well, they obviously like aired that documentary, and they're like, "Oh shit, that guy's running a cult. Like, we got to get in there."
Honestly, that has happened a couple times in 2020. Really, since the R. Kelly documentary. I don't know if that was 2020 or last year, but that literally like they fucking broke that. Like they like went in with with the law went in as a response to that. And then this year we saw the Patton Oswalt whole story where a lot of the that case was kind of solved due to popularity and interest and stuff and awareness being raised about it. So we've seen a lot of that, really,
especially because he got away with killing his wife. Boy.
But I guess I can't argue there about the Geeked Up Man of the Year being Exotic Joe from the Tiger King himself, of course. And
that's going to wrap up then the 125th first ever Geeked Up 2020 COVID Awards. And I guess
a 2020 year that we're looking forward to moving on from. However, when you look at it like the last hour and a half of us talking about it, not so bad. We had some laughs along the way.
Sounds like we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, seriously.
WEFUNK. We funk.